Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 141, released March 1971. Our price, 35 cents, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, please let me remind you, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That's the #1 way that you can support this, the #1 Mad Magazine YouTube channel. What do you get? You get nothing, but I get followers, and that means something to me. Anyway, it's the best way to help it grow, and I do really appreciate anybody who takes the time to leave comments and thumbs up and subscribe, of course. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Link is down in the description. Also down below, you should be able to become a channel member, both of which, if you join, you could get a sick set of buttons, a sick set of stickers, and yes, even a stencil. Great for both public and private defacement. Defacement of public and private property. You could do that privately or publicly, but anyway, these are the people that I get to thank for their support today. Ben Forsgren, Joey Gesso, Reflection of Perfection, Tom Richmond, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support. I hope I can keep on earning it with that. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Let's get back to this. The issue at hand. Mad Magazine number 141. What a cover. Look at this. This is some, oh, this is, I don't know why. For some reason, I almost called it a Norman Mingo cover. It's most definitely not. This is a Jack Rickard cover. Kind of a cool one. I mean, I just like this visual of Alfred E. Neuman in an Army uniform. Is it an Army uniform or is it the Army Air Corps? Or is it Air Force? I don't know. I don't know when Catch 22 came out. Like what war was that parodying? I read it like once a long time ago. Anyway, let's get in here. A nice house ad. Stick up for your beliefs. Use mad protest stickers like these, shown actual size. Our latest full color fold out free bonus. And yeah, the Mad Special number 3. Certainly not the third actual special that they ever did. They would do the worst of Mad, more trash from Mad. How about this? Man cannot live on bread alone. Ooh, getting scriptural. But plenty get by just on crust. I don't understand that. Here we have, what do we have here? Well, what do we have here? I don't know if this counts, but this feels a little bit like a suicide ad. Are you thinking about self-immolation? You'll be burned up if you order any or all 48 Mad paperback books on sale at all book stands, or yours by mail for 60 cents each. I just found 2 in the wild. They aren't here. They hadn't been published yet, I don't think. I don't know about you guys. The paperbacks, they're harder and harder to find in the Midwest. I used to be able to find them all the time. Now I really can't. But the price, no inflation there. The price of those has remained at like $5 ever since I started buying them in like middle school. But anyway, there's this also. The letters, you guys, there's not that many good letters in this one. You know, I love to talk about the letters, but this is something I always like to pay attention to. The Statement of Ownership, Management, and Circulation. The circulation numbers, this is something that they were required to do, I don't know, by the government, maybe the post office or something, I don't know. Regardless of who required them to do it, I always found it really interesting. So you can see there's like two categories. One is like the total copies printed. There's the average over the 12 months. And then there's the actual number of copies of a single issue published nearest to filing date. So the average over 12 months and then the latest figures. And so if you like go down this, you see you can see what all of those go into. And I don't know, maybe this isn't interesting, and maybe I'm spending too much time on it. So mail order subscriptions were $100,000. Paid circulation, sales through dealers, carriers, street vendors, and counter sales. That's the grocery store, the newsstand, well, direct market didn't exist. Total paid circulation, 2,141,340. Free distribution, I think that's comp issues that they give to staff. Total distribution, and then office use. Oh no, these are comps, but yeah, office use, leftover, unaccounted, spoiled. 600,000. 600,000 leftovers. That's crazy. And a total of 2,821,000. One of the things that is very interesting to look at are mail subscriptions. Because like this, anyway, I made a whole video about this, which maybe I shouldn't even bother going into this. But here you can see this is 1971. 1971, copies sold, 1.8. Wait, what the heck? What year is this? March of 71. Oh, this probably would be 70? Anyway, I forget. I forget when I put that together, and I forget where I got all that data. Somebody collected all of these numbers from the whatchamacallit, from these issues of Mad magazine, and it is kind of interesting to look at. We can't waste any more time on this. We have to get into the magazine itself because there's a lot of really cool stuff in this one. Catch-All 22. You loved the book, right? So you should fall over in ecstasy at the movie, right? Not so fast, speed reader. Something happened and no one is quite sure what it was. Let's just say that this one movie could single-handedly revive the lost art of reading. On the other hand, this mad satire of the movie could very well kill it again. In any case, here's our version of Catch-All 22. Ernest Borgnine was in this. Okay, I always thought, I read Catch-22 a long time ago, and I remember enjoying it. I always thought that Catch-22 should have been, like Mr. Roberts should have been Catch-22. It should have been that level of popularity. And maybe it was, but it no longer is. I think Catch-22 maintained a certain level of like popularity in pop culture that Mr. Roberts lost, which is a shame. Mr. Roberts, again, one of my favorite books on the topic of life in the military. Anyway, this is Mort Drucker with some beautiful illustrations all throughout it. We're going to keep chugging along, though, unfortunately. Here we have On a Street Corner Downtown. Hey, weirdo, turn around. I can't see what your sign says. First person to call me weirdo gets it. He's blasted in the chest. X'd out eyes. This dude is a goner. For sure. Having trouble with your parents, you can win your argument by convincing them you're right with one of these mad clippings to leave lying around. This is by Alphonse Normandia. So I guess the idea is you rip up the magazine and leave these out. But what's funny is that it's like a double-edged sword. Wait, is it a catch-22? There's the first part of the article that you want the parent to read, and then the second part of the article, which you don't. 2-hour school day urged by educators. Leading educators in a special meeting here today expressed concern over long and, for the most part, useless hours spent in school by students. It's really ridiculous, said one teacher. The attention span of all students is normally limited. After an hour or so, it's no use trying to teach them anything. The teachers signed a resolution recommending a 2-hour school day, including a half-hour lunch break, be adopted as sufficient for effective learning. At the conclusion of the meeting, the group returned to their teaching assignments at the Gladstone Obedience Training School for Dogs. That's kind of fun, right? So it's like you want to read that, you don't want to read that. Yeah. After school chores seen as damaging. Assigning after-school chores to a boy or a girl instead of allowing the child to play may result in irreparable damage, stated Dr. Hugo Young-Freud, the noted child psychologist. But the damage to grass, windows, dishes, etc., caused by the child's unconscious resentment of having to meet mature responsibilities is a little price to pay for the character building that results. If you can afford the cost of replacing a broken dish while washing, or a window smashed while cleaning, or a lawn torn up by cutting, or a car destroyed while polishing, make the little stinkers work, concluded Dr. Young Freud. Here we have Spy versus Spy, and I believe that there's only one Spy versus Spy in this one. Disgusting. Ah, there, I got it, guys. I got the hair out of my mouth. Only one Spy versus Spy this week. And boy, very clever. I like that one. This is really interesting and quite dark. This is, basically The Purge, if you remember that movie that came out, where it's like you can, you get one 24-hour period to do whatever you want. Get it out of your system land. Eliminate your frustrations. Work out your aggressions. Express your hostilities. Give vent to your anger. Satisfy your urge to kill. Blow off steam. Have a ball. And so you have people entering and exiting. And I mean, holy smokes, look at the detail in this drawing by George Woodbridge. Look how happy people are leaving. You notice that there's more people going in than coming out. There's some foreshadowing. Really cool Hwimmel builder. Kick over the gravestone of your choice, 35 cents. Okay, you can kick over veterans or Catholics or Jewish or Protestant graves. Any of them, really. Bigotry wall, express your hates, rent a can of paint and a brush, 50 cents an hour. Here we have Mug-a-lug. Beat up an innocent passerby, keep whatever you find on them. Little old man, $1. Little old lady, $1.50. There's somebody being yoinked off the street for that one. The Shaftier family pavilion. Damage dad's new car. Scratch the finish. Dent the fender. Slash a tire. Wreck the whole car. Dump your mom into a vat of her chicken soup. $3 matzo ball. 3 matzo balls, 50 cents. And then smother your baby brother. It gets pretty dark. 50 cents for a large pillow, 25 cents for a small pillow. Goodness gracious, though. Look at that. Deface a masterpiece. Play bully. All you can beat, $1. Vandal's China Shop. I mean, look at all this. How long does something like this take? Here's your chance to talk back to the people who bug you every day. Obscenities encouraged. 10 minutes for 50 cents. Well, that's very interesting because the paint one, 50 cents, and you get a whole hour. The pricing on this, really, really bizarre, I have to say. Automania. Pass. Pass stop signs, go through red lights, exceed speed limits, cause fatal accidents, rent a car, and go wild. $4 per hour. Light up and puff away in a no smoking area. Admission free. What a cool, this is a super cool one. But like I said, pretty dark compared to a lot of the stuff that you see in Mad Magazine. Following that obedience trend from that article, here is a mad look at obedience training. Artist and writer Dean Neuman. Since an unruly dog can be a pest and a well-trained dog can be a wonderful companion, the obedience school for dogs has become very popular lately. However, the same can be said for kids. Such an unruly child can be a pest, and a well-trained child can be a joy. So why not obedience schools for kids? Wouldn't it be great if we could just train kids to obey a few simple commands such as sit, heel, down boy, play dad? And why not obedience schools for husbands? Speak, pay, wash, down boy. Ah. And why not obedience schools for wives? Fetch, come, breakfast, Down, girl. Women be shopping. I don't know how. Hold on, I may have to. I'm gonna refer to crackedcoversite.com. Dean Norman. How many times has he been in Mad? Not that many. Not that many at all. This is close to his last one. He was in, yeah, in 71 and then again in 78. Interesting. All right, marching songs for crusaders, militants, and assorted sundry nonconformist. Um, Artist Jack Davis, writer Frank Jacobs. Oh, geez, I didn't pause it in time to hide that yawn. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. Uh, College students, homecoming march. Should we zoom in on these so we can see these beautiful illustrations a little bit better? When Johnny comes home from school this year, hoo-ha, hoo-ha, the neighbors will know that he is here, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. The Viet Cong flag from the roof he'll fly, will screaming pig at each passerby. Now how the block will stare when Johnny comes home from school. When Susie comes home from school this year, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. She'll swing like a 10-foot chandelier, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. She'll offer grass to her ma and pa. She'll take the pill and she'll wear no bra. The town will buzz when Susie comes home from school. Look at that. I like how he illustrated Susie not wearing a bra. When Freddie comes home from school this year, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. When his parents will want to disappear, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. On Monday morn he'll be marching bare while quoting Mao in the courthouse square. And we'll all know that Freddie's come home from school. When Marvin's come home from school this year, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. We won't have a single thing to fear, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. He'll wear a crew cut and mow the grass. He'll go to church and act middle class. What an awful bore when Marvin comes home from school. Poor Marvin. Look at all the. I can't sing all of these. Sorry, guys. This one is great though. The Hymn of the Hard Hats. These illustrations are just amazing. And it's not just that. There's like a whole nother page too. That's what's so great about it. College rioters chant in the halls of Montezuma. Nudity on Broadway. Don't mind that illustration. Here we have Hawks and Doves. Now, wouldn't it be cool if Hawks and Doves came back? I'm surprised Mad never tried to do that, never considered doing that, bringing back Hawks and Doves, and especially considering how long we've been at war, and now we're like just constantly bombing people every chance we get, paying money to other countries to bomb people. Somebody should bring back Hawks and Doves. That's all I'm saying. I think that it'd be fun to have some humorous anti-war stuff in comedy magazines. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. Here's a mad peek behind the scenes at a shopping center. Bob Clark is the artist. Writer is Stan Hart. You guys, there's like so much. I'm halfway through and I'm almost out of time. Probably because I wasted time on that circulation thing. Just look at these illustrations. The only thing that would be better is usually, they put like a gel over this so it's all gray and they cut out where the letter boxes are white. Cool if like certain scenes were that bright white. Anyway, that's a small complaint. Here we have one hot day in the desert. Oh, look at warning. This mirage is polluted. That's too bad. Here we have Bob Clark doing a mad look at tropical fish. Tropical fish. Here's something that I came to realize. It was the late 60s and early 70s where hobbies were invented. And this is my theory, is that you'll notice in Mad Magazine, they have segments like this where it's like a mad look at tropical fish, a mad look at skin diving or scuba diving, a mad look at all kinds of things. And I think that the 60s and 70s, like a lot of these, like tropical fish, people probably owned those forever, but they were like millionaires that owned them. And then finally, the middle class is established and gets comfortable enough that they can start indulging in things like scuba diving or model trains or tropical fish. And so what you get is these things that sweep across the nation and people who indulge in them in an obsessive way. And you can do a mad look at and make fun of those people. This one is just, this is so great. It's so dense and it's filled with so much funny stuff. And you can kind of get a sense of it based on these illustrations by Bob Clark. Look at these dynamic illustrations by Bob Clark. They're fantastic. Top 10. Top 10, baby. Top 10 artist in Mad Magazine. Bob Clark for sure. Here we have artist Paul Coker Jr. and writer Tom Koch. You never really get used to trying to carry on a kind of casual conversation with a nun. You never really get used to the chalk breaking and I kind of got that feeling, and your fingernails scraping across the blackboard. Kind of got that feeling just reading about that. You never get used to having a dog watch you get undressed. This is my favorite because these are so ubiquitous. I never considered the fact that they had to be new at some point. Those new plumbing features that control the water temperature with just one faucet. I think we got used to them. I think we did at this point. Here we have the lighter side of clubs and organizations. Here, hit pause and read that. All you Dave Berg heads, you Berg brains, you guys can check those out. One evening in the bathtub. Okay, mama's little snookums, darling, sweetie, honey, baby. Bathy time is over. Time to get dry and ready for Betty bye. First, we'll take out the little rubber dolly. Honestly, Edna, don't you think you're spoiling that duck a little? It's a weird one. Speaking of weird, I thought this was great. I really liked this one. I don't know why. It's almost like this sort of reminds me of something like Zach Brandel would do. It's Frank Jacobs. Here you have a normal person, the patriot, the extrovert, the introvert, the nonconformist, the inhibited, the alcoholic, the amnesiac, the mystic, the neurotic, the escapist, the egotist, the psychotic, the sadist, the masochist, the inferiority complex, the persecution complex, and the insomniac. And I love that touch at the end with Alfred E. Neuman's eyes suddenly open wide. These ones, they're just like, take 2 seconds to read, but I really enjoy them. I really do. Oh, wait, why did I think there was only one Spy versus Spy? What is wrong with me? Spy versus Spy, here we go. Oh, look at White Spy lights a bomb. Oh, he goes to do the old switcheroo. Grabs that one. How do those spies anticipate what the other is going to do? This is Angelo Torres, surely, doing Hawaii Five-0. I honestly am so unfamiliar. Is that Kirk Douglas? It looks like him. Anyway, let's take a look at this. What is contributing most to the breakdown in communication between people? Looks like it's going to be the telephone. Lousy phone service. There we go. And then finally, the back cover, a beautiful piece, written by Sergio Aragones and drawn by Jack Rickard, painted by Jack Rickard. Poor Geppetto. And poor Pinocchio. He no longer has a father figure. You guys, this has been Mad Magazine number 141. Remember, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That's the best way to support this channel. And if you watched it, all the way to the end. I want you to say Pinocchio, more like Pinocchio grow. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Toodaloo.